Good morning, fellas. Blue Gym MMA here. Today we're talking about a Brazilian team taking over the UFC. All of them, it's only 4 of them, but they're all undefeated at the highest level. All are on a major win streak currently, and they all are major finishers. They hate leaving it to the hands of the judges, and they make sure to give us an exciting fight at the same time. So today, the team that we're going to be talking about is the Fighting Nerds. Currently, the most exciting team to watch in the UFC. Only 4 fighters, but a bunch of killers. So, first guy we're going to be talking about today is Mauricio Ruffi. This guy, his nickname is One Shot. Mauricio One Shot Ruffi. And he means that shit. He fights in a similar style to Conor McGregor. You will see that he has this karate stance going on, except he's actually right-handed instead of being a lefty. He's such a high-level counterpuncher, certified finisher. The guy has never went to the judge's decision, whether win or loss, has never won or lost by anything other than knockouts. The guy is currently 10-1. He has this beautiful style about him. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. He fights kind of like a young Conor, karate stance back in the days. If you guys remember karate stance Conor, he looks a lot like him. And even if you look like from the camera, you would think that this might be, is that young Conor? Is that young Conor? It's not. It's Mauricio Ruffi. Right-handed. And his favorite shot is the His favorite shot is the slip right straight, just like Conor used to do with the left. Just the same shot that he knocked out Jose Aldo with is the same shot that Mauricio Ruffi knocks out most people with. He last knocked out Jamie Mullarkey in the UFC in his first fight. He's currently 1-0 in the UFC, looking to stack up a little bit more. Telling you guys, pay attention to him. He's a really interesting fighter. You will love his style. There's something about him and his eye. He has such a great eye for punches and kicks, especially for kicks. He has this amazing ability to slip. Telling you guys, pay attention to Mauricio Ruffi. He's one of the new exciting fighters that has been added to the 170-pound division as of late. His first fight in the UFC was against Jamie Mullarkey, whom he absolutely dominated and knocked out. He used the same slip punch that I talked about, and that was on UFC 301 Brazil. That's when we UFC fans were introduced to him. Go and watch his previous fights. He's a really good one. The second fighter I will be talking about today is John Lord Silva. This guy, out of all of these guys in the Fighting Nerds, John Lord Silva might be the most efficient and scary puncher. Honestly, the way, whenever he throws a punch, the way fighters go down, the way they get hurt, the way they get stumbled, is something to behold. I've seen him knock out really good guys, such as Charles Rodin. He's also one of the very few guys who managed to knock out Drew Dober without being a white dude. That tells you a lot. The guy has nasty power from any shot. Knockout artist. He has 16-1. That's his record. The guy's on a 15-fight winning streak. Only lost his second fight way back in the days. Currently 3-0 in the UFC. Has done nothing but knockout. Nothing but knock people out. That's literally all he does. He's not someone that is overly active, but whenever he touches you, lights out, or you get rocked, and now you're on stumbly legs. Like, he doesn't play. This guy John Silva, he doesn't even look like a fighter. I'm telling you, he has the glasses and everything. He looks chill as shit, and he is pretty chill. Like, he tends to play around in the cage, gives props and all that stuff, but when he touches you, you don't want to prop him anymore, man. You want to get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. The guy also has a karate type stance, just like Mauricio Rufy. Something that you will notice a lot in this camp is that most of the three of the four guys that I will mention today are actually just like that. And he's literally one of the most efficient strikers in the entire UFC. Despite the fact that he has a karate stance, which is usually a more evasive style, where you like to move around and mostly like counter shots and all that, he doesn't really do that as much. Really what he likes to do is he will take off the karate stance, but he'll be pressuring you the whole time. He'll be in your face the whole damn time. Great at pulling on kicks. So he's really hard to hit square in the head with them. And seriously, this guy kills dudes, man, with his hands, his kicks, whatever he's touching you with. He's killing niggas. By the way, Jean Silva, while being only 3-0, already being 3-0, has only been in the UFC for a year. Now, the third fighter we're going to be talking about today is Carlos Nightmare Prates. Guys, Carlos Prates, I'm letting you know this right the fuck now, okay? He's one of the best strikers in the UFC. And pay attention, because I'm not playing when I say this. He is a knockout machine. He really hurts guys, and not just with the hands, not just with the elbows, especially with the kicks. You know, the Nightmare, especially with the knees, that's what I said. So the man is 20-6, currently on a 10-fight win streak. He has a beautiful style, man. Lethal. He seems like he's not the most active dude. He likes to really, he's a Muay Thai guy. You will see that in his fighting style. He used to fight Muay Thai, kickboxing, and MMA all around the same time, which is really crazy. Like, he has a lot of fights in kickboxing where he, even over there, was knocking the hell out of dudes, man. And now he's came into the UFC. Been here for about a year. Already got 3 knockouts and 3 gruesome knockouts, man. He doesn't play. There's this thing about, you know, the guy is a Muay Thai fighter with as a southpaw, you know, and so long, so tall. He's like 6'1" with a super long reach, long legs, really technical. You know, he will go kick your legs, throw some good boxing. You know, he has really good boxing. Probably one of the best in the 170 division as well. There's this one thing about him though that makes him really scary. He says that he calls himself the Nightmare, and it's not for fun. It's not for jokes. Like, he has a nightmare style for, I think, most people at 170. You guys will start paying attention right now, because in a few years you'll be a little late to the hype train, you know. So jump on it right now. The guy just had an amazing performance last weekend versus Li Jingliang, which is a really good striker himself, a really good boxer. He could not box with him, man. He could not box with him. So you guys, go look at Carlos Prates. He still has a lot of fights on YouTube. And this guy, he's a scary dude, man. Especially the thing about him being a southpaw is the fact that he's so educated on body strikes. He really hits all the time the liver. The liver, that's his favorite spot. He will throw a lot of knees to that liver, man. He go a lot of knees to the liver. He has knocked out so many fighters with that knee. Go look him up. I'm telling you. He might be the reason why I'm making this video, guys. Trust me. You know, he has good clinch and one of the sneakiest knockout artists in this UFC. I'm telling you now. Expect a lot of sneaky finishes in this guy's future. Anyways, he fights often, and he did call out Chaos Williams. Called him an easy fight. If you know anything about the UFC, you know Chaos Williams is not an easy fight. But to him, he actually might be. Fighting nerds. We are fighting nerds. We are fighting nerds. We are fighting nerds. Today we're talking about the Fighting Nerds, the best team in the UFC. Now, last but not least, we're going to be talking about Caio Borralho. If you know anything about the UFC, and if you're in the meme world, you know Caio is kind of regarded as the evil Paulo Costa because of looks. You know, he looks a little bit like Paulo, but with tats, so you would assume that he's a bad guy. But nah, man. He's actually the original Fighting Nerd. He's the man with the plan, the guy with the game plan. He's the one who made it all up, you know. Caio Borralho is a really interesting guy. He's even deeper than fighting, and he's the definition of a fighting nerd. Because, man, at age 15, he was tutoring in chemistry and mathematics. So you know that brain is filled with information, man. He looks at fighting like it's a science, you can tell, man. So this guy, Caio Borralho, the OG from the Fighting Nerd, and the one who actually created the team, because I said at 15 he was tutoring, at 18 he quit school, straight to fighting, created his team, and now they're all and now they're joining the UFC. They keep coming in, man. They keep coming into the UFC, and trust me, there are other guys coming up as well. These four guys are not the end, man. This is the rise of the Fighting Nerds. So pay attention yet once again. So this guy, Caio Borralho, he is a black belt in Muay Thai. I know it's Muay Thai. You would think, oh, there's no black belt in Muay Thai. In Brazil, there is. Brazil, there's a black belt for everything. Okay, just know that right now. He's a black belt in Muay Thai, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a brown belt in Judo. Mind you, he started in Judo and then expanded elsewhere to now become the mixed martial artist that he is today. The guy is 16-1, 7-0 in the UFC, despite only having been there for 2 years. His next fight coming up against Jared Cannonier will be this weekend. So watch that. I'm telling you, the dude is amazing as a fighter. He's not as much as a finisher as the other guys who have mostly nothing but finishes and knockouts especially, but he's more so well-rounded, so he will definitely strike with you. He's a karate stance fighter like the first two guys. The last one is a Muay Thai guy, so it's not the same at all. He's the Prates might be the one guy that has a really completely different style from the other dudes, but not the same for Caio Borralho. Caio Borralho likes to fight karate stance. He likes to pressure guys though, and he actually throws a decent amount and will not hesitate ever to go and grapple with you. If he sees that you're pretty good at striking, he will take you down, and his double leg is really great. Like, he has a really good double leg. Whenever he takes dudes down, he really controls them a decent amount, and he also has a really good submissions. The guy is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, like I said, and a black belt in Judo, so it's really a pick your poison fight. So fighters still haven't found the way to really beat him. And I'm telling you guys that Caio Borralho is definitely a potential title challenger. If you manage to beat Jared Cannonier, do not be surprised if you see randomly like that, Caio Borralho versus Dricus du Plessis. Like, what's going on here? In a couple of years, in a year or two, you know, I expect him to, if he manages to beat Cannonier, probably gets a title eliminator, and next thing you know, he's fighting Dricus du Plessis for the belt. And yeah, so obviously he's the closest one to possibly get a title fight. He's not anymore just a prospect. The guy is a contender now. So yeah, that's another dude that you probably already know who he is. I assume that you know who he is. The other three guys, I'll give it to you. It's okay, but you gotta know who Caio Borralho is, man. This is the end of my video. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Drop a like. Let me know how you feel about the Fighting Nerds. Who do you think is the best fighter out of the Fighting Nerds? And who do you think is the best striker also, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure that it's Carlos Prates. You cannot convince me otherwise. But if you have a different opinion, make sure to share that shit too. So this was Brasilian MMA presenting to you the fighting nerds. I'm out. So peace out.